So what's going on? So today I'm taking the 392. Obviously you don't want to be getting $52 to refill half a tank, so it's not a car I drive every day. My daily driver is a modified Civic Si. We could definitely talk about the mods some other time. I'm in stage 1 for the Civic. I got the cold air intake. I've got the vibrant ultra quiet resonators because I'm not personally into really loud, raspy noises. There's louder exhaust noise and there's better exhaust noise, and I think frankly I use the same resonators on my scat pack, and I think that rather than going for loud straight pipe sounds, I like the better exhaust, the better resonated sounds with a mid muffler delete, so you hear it. So it's more or less similar volume to stock until you step on the gas pedal, which is kind of what I'm looking for, because I want it to be quiet when I want it to be and loud when I want it to be, which is why I got it on my Civic. So yeah, so I am on my way to Unitech today to basically go to work. So talking about the car, and recently I just found out I'm actually
turn right on Amador Valley Boulevard.
On track mode.
Then turn right on Doherty
The only
Road.
way to drive a scat pack, and kick the tail sideways every now and then at the corners, you know.
GPS connected.
The Civic is just really sharp at precision cornering, but it's just fun to get this thing sideways.
Turn right on Amador Valley Boulevard. Then turn right on Doherty Road. Turn right on Doherty Road.
So once I get to this, into this merge, trying to basically get off this thing without scraping my bumper, because if you go too fast, you scrape your bumper. And you got to make sure those wheels are straight.
In 1 mile, stay to the right to I-580 West, toward Oakland.
Yep, and there's a cop right there. I didn't go that fast though. Cop's not moving, so he ain't too concerned about me. Did make quite a bit of exhaust noise on that, but yeah. Yeah, so cars like this, you really want to make sure your wheels are straight before stepping on the gas pedal. Otherwise, you're going to be fishtailing. I've done it a few times, so it's one of those things where you're unintentionally, people think you look cool while you're doing it when it was totally not something I meant to do. But, you know, it's just the fact that I can get it back under control when it happens. I don't really panic. I mean, when you drive a Dodge on street tires, the tail tends to go out. So what's this guy got here? He's got some bumpers here. It says, "Get Karen, gas and grass." Got a bunch of Mexican flags up on that too. But yeah, so I recently got an offer to teach for the RN program, which is something I might do in the future. Right now, just kind of getting my initial teaching experience for the LVN program, and I'd like to see my first batch of LVN students graduate. So, kind of want to focus on that first. And, yeah.
K-band.
You know, even though, I think the 2015 Civic Si with the VTEC is basically your last experience. It's the last time you get to have the raw Honda Civic experience. But even this shakedown, though, with the carbon fiber, the noise reduction isn't as good on the Scat Pack as it is on the Charger. like the Challenger has less noise reduction.
In
so
1,000 feet, use the right 2 lanes
everything
to stay
going
to the
on
right 2, I-580
in
west,
the Challenger,
toward Oakland.
you'll hear it a lot more than in the Charger. The Charger, it does have more of that luxury feel, while the Challenger has more of that raw muscle car feel, which is kind of my favorite thing about it. But if you got family, I think, you know, having kids in the back of a Charger it's a little better for you. But yeah. But yep, going to Unitech, gonna work today. We're working with LVN students, term 3. You know, one thing you kind of realize is, man, after the more semesters you get into with teaching students, like the more they'll start to have an attitude. Like in semester 1, everybody's good in semester 1, and then more and more, because I mean our class and our generation, we were the same way, where, all right, you got that Toyota, I'm about to cut in. If somebody's not afraid to get in an accident, don't mess with them, because clearly they do not give a fuck. So if he cuts in, he cuts in. I'm gonna let him through. I'm not into that territorial driving bullshit, but I mean, yeah. Does he have enough room? Alright, well, I guess not. I probably should have turned right and merged that way.
Use the right 2 lanes to stay to the right 2, I-580 west, toward Oakland.
Auto shift thing going. Man, will you make up your mind on whether you want to go in my lane or not? I mean, unlike the Civic, I mean, I'm not really in a hurry to get momentum. Damn, this guy.
In a quarter of a mile, use the second lane from the right to take exit 44B, I-680 south, towards San Jose. Exit right 2, exit 44B, I-680 south, towards San Jose.
Dude,
then use the left lane to stay to the left
what the
to
fuck?
I-680 south, towards San Jose.
People, man.
Use the left lane to stay to the left. Then stay to the right 2, I-680 south, towards San Jose.
Alright.
Stay to the right 2,
You want this lane? I want that lane. Let's trade.
Towards San Jose.
There you go. One thing I really like about this car is the braking. I mean, SRTs and Scat Packs, they're heavy, but I mean, this particular Scat Pack, the shakedown is really decked out. So the shakedown is basically an SRT 392 because of all the goods it has on it. The upgraded brakes, the same engine as the SRT 8. Yeah, this car is really decked out. But yeah, it's just, damn, you deal with people that are terrible drivers. Come on, Tesla. Come on, you got all that EV power. Use it. These dudes got like really quick 0 to 60 times, but the drivers are slow, man. Thing is, Teslas are actually quick ass cars. It's just
exit 14,
the people that drive them are slow as fuck.
Parkway.
All right. But yeah, I was saying though, I recently got, accepted, or recently was offered to teach because I do fit the experience needed to actually teach med-surg for the RN program, and I'm seriously considering taking it. I graduated out of Unitech in 2021.
Watch out, vehicle on shoulder ahead.
And as somebody that's teaching for the VN program, I still have that attachment to it. I kind of miss those days. They were good ass times, and it was kind of a weird thing during COVID. But yeah, one thing you'll notice, I noticed this because, I'm a teacher, and at the same time, I used to be a student there, so I kind of know both sides of it. What's going on in 2025 is more or less how we did things in 2008, but same little attitudes. You got the same thing. There's always some group of people, like all the ones that make trouble, they're always sitting in the back. That's one thing you'll notice. Every cohort, it's not just one, every cohort. My cohort had that, in BSN. But you'll always notice that. So it's not really, it's nothing new. It's just, nowadays people got iPads, people got smartphones, just same behaviors, same students, just different tech. So it's kind of a different time, but there's just some shit that doesn't change. But yeah, it's just one thing you'll notice is the further you get into it, semester 2, they're starting to have early signs of showing you attitude. By semester 3, they're just over it. Many of them don't want to be there anymore, and yeah, which is understandable. I was there too, and you deal with a lot of attitudes. So that's kind of the thing. So we'll see what BSN has to offer. I know that, a lot of them that have kind of been through the LVN program, they probably have started to develop that attitude. So we'll see what there is, right? Because you got to handle tantrums. You got to handle people that are, if the class fails their test, they're not going to be too happy about that. So you got that kind of stuff to deal with. At least from the teacher side. From the student side, it's pure frustration. You don't know what's going to happen next. And yeah, but it's as somebody that was basically the first cohort of BSN, I still have that attachment to it. I still remember back in 2020 when COVID hit, they shut the program for like 3 months, and we were all depressed, man. I became a hardcore nicotine addict, drinking, studying, drunk as hell, coping with it. And when the program was closed, man, I was just trying not to become too depressed. So yeah, that's gonna be what's going on next. I recently took on a job at my main place, so I'm getting paid really good money to do that, and along with, teaching a little more at Unitech, since I have a little bit more time. It's kind of like still working, but my high paying job, it is a little more stressful. There's a lot more to do. So compared to what I do full time as a nurse, it's not nearly as stressful, but you deal with your fair share, at the same time, it's kind of like you're dealing with students, and now I'm the old guy, and I got to deal with students with attitude now. It's kind of, nowadays it's sort of like, even though I was there, I can't really talk as a peer. I kind of have to talk as, a teacher, right? But thing is, as somebody that graduated from BSN in 2021, as long as I'm not having the job of having to teach you med-surg, I kind of consider you my peer, unless you're my student. And then we have to kind of keep that wall in between myself and you, But yeah, it's kind of one of those things I'm really, considering getting into. But I kind of want to use VN to better my teaching skills before I move on and start teaching BSN. But it is a good opportunity, and I'm definitely taking it. And the suspension on this 392 is stiff, man. I feel every little bump of it. That's the thing of track mode. But luckily with this car, let's go with street mode until now. It's not as bumpy. But yeah, so we're basically going to be doing that. And, so yeah, we'll see. I got an offer, or I've been extended an opportunity. I'll probably take it as I become more experienced. But like I said, I kind of want to use the VN program to kind of better my own teaching. A lot of things that, some things you got to do is it's not just about easy A's and all that. It's just, are you teaching them well enough to where they're ready to take CMS, ready to take NCLEX, and the advice I would have to give as a teacher is going to be the advice very different from what I would have to give as a student and what I did, because basically NCLEX and school is nothing alike. I mean, the things I did to study for school is very different from the things I did to study for NCLEX, but at the same time, even though the study methods are different, you still got to develop that work ethic. Like, you just got to train yourself to not be lazy, because you could be lazy and you could have all the answers ahead of time. I've seen people do that, but that's none of my business. When I was a student, the ones that cheated are the ones. This one person, he cheated his way through school. I never snitched on him, but I looked up his name online. He's still not an RN, So in the long run, he cheated his way and got straight A's in school just to not take his NCLEX. And the thing is, like, yeah, you cheat, but I don't want to draw attention to myself, and I just kind of want to stay out of that drama. So in the long run, it's kind of, you can't make it too easy. Otherwise, they're not going to learn anything. And, as a teacher, we kind of want people to pass their NCLEX, So that's not something we want to be, basically doing. So I'm passing by Sanal. There's this really nice gas station in Sanal. If you got a fast car and you tune it properly, you can run like 100 octane, make a whole lot more horsepower. My muscles cars aren't tuned for it, but my Civic Si with the Honda tuning, I can, once I upgrade the fuel injectors and all that, I can tune it for race gas, or I can tune it for E85 ethanol. People make a lot of horsepower with that, so it's gonna be some exciting news. Man, I forgot how fun this car was after being in the Civic all week. Like, it's not the fastest thing, but it's just a fun car to cruise in. You cruise kind of quick. I mean, I don't look at this as a roll racing car, but it is pretty fast for a commuting daily driver. As far as just one of those cars where if I'm not going too far, I'm down to daily it. And what's funny is I actually drive faster in my Civic than I do in my Hemi. Part of it is just being able to squeeze in tighter spaces. The other part of it is just kind of being able to basically just it's just shift down, go full VTEC, and you get all that power. It just kind of comes out of nowhere, because down low Honda just feels like a normal economy car. When you drive a Civic Si below 4,000 RPMs, even with a tune, it feels like a normal Civic. But then when you go 4,000 RPMs and up, I think like 6,000 to 8,000 RPMs, man, that's where you realize this isn't a normal Civic, man. This thing got power. I mean, it's one of those cars, man. You could just have fun in, and people have tuned these things to make 600 or 700 horsepower, and I'll tell you, man, those Hondas, they're no joke. I was up against an Acura Integra while I was in my Scat Pack.
Police reported ahead.
And this guy had a turbo in there. Straight up left me in the back. And I was like, damn, these Hondas are no joke. Prius. Oh, man. Man, that suspension's beating me up. Alright, so I'm getting laser. So somewhere, there's a cop watching my speed somewhere. We doing 78, but we're mixing in with traffic, so we should be good, and I'm not making too much exhaust noise. Alright, we're clear. But yeah, it's very tempting to go fast on this particular road. I'm still being watched. Yep.
In 1 mile, exit right to exit 14, Durham Road, Auto Mall Parkway.
Somewhere there's a cop monitoring my speed. So, 75, we're good. But yeah, so almost to Unitech. Got the Durham Road right there. But yeah, I'm really thinking about taking this opportunity. For now, I kind of want to basically better my own bedside nursing. At the same time, just kind of spend my time in the VN program. So I'd like to watch my first batch of students graduate. So I at least have that goal.
Exit right to exit 14.
And I kind of want to spend
Durham
some time
Road, Auto Mall Parkway.
bettering my teaching before I teach for the BSN program. But yeah, it was a trip, man. It was just kind of COVID happened, so
use either lane to
everybody was pretty stressed out, and you know they shut the program down, and we had no idea whether we would even finish school. I mean, I was stressing out. My classmates at the time, they were stressing out. Like, yo, are we gonna finish school, man? I waited a long time to get into this program just for it to get shut down by COVID. So I'm hoping that, you know, we can, you know, basically just kind of continue. And so we did. It was different because now we were stuck behind Zoom. Good thing about driving a manual transmission is you pay attention. As soon as the light turns green, you're the one that doesn't hesitate, you know. You'll notice every time the light turns green, but now
make a U-turn on Auto
now I don't have a clutch, right?
Red light camera ahead.
I have a computer doing all this work for me. So because I drive a manual, as soon as the light turns green, I step on the clutch, hit the gear, gas right out. Now I'm in a manual, now I'm in automatic, but I have that same attentiveness as when driving a manual. So when the light turns green, I don't have to press the clutch. The computer does it for me. And the outcome is that I launch quicker. So, you know, in a lot of ways, man, manual, it kind of turns you into a better driver. You pay attention more. But yeah, the program itself, man, everything just shut down. We were kind of going crazy. And COVID happened, and now we were all just doing things behind a screen. So it's kind of crazy to see students on campus again. And having taught in VN program for a while, I'm kind of curious on what it's going to be like, you know, because are they still, you know, doing Zoom meetings these days, or, you know, is there more, you know, more on campus time, kind of like in VN? Man, after being in the Civic all week, it's just the torque. I miss the V8 torque and just being able to get off the line quicker. Because the Civic, it's got power, but you gotta, with Honda power works very different from American muscle power. All right, Honda power is you rev it up at like 3,000 RPMs, but the power doesn't come in until like after 4,000. V8 muscle car power is you step on the gas a little bit from, you know, 1,500 RPMs, you're already feeling that torque. EVs, man, it's kind of a trip, especially if you got all-wheel drive. You just get that power right away. But then after 100 miles an hour, the power kind of dies. I test drove the Scat Pack EV. It was kind of cool, kind of not. I mean, it got up to 100 fast, but it didn't feel satisfying. I mean, it accelerates almost like a Hellcat, you know, but it's all the acceleration of a Hellcat, but none of the excitement. You know, that's kind of how I would describe it when I drove an EV. Like, it just kind of, it got up there fast. I just didn't feel like I earned it, you know. It's kind of And that's what it is, man. It's just the car nowadays, the car does all the work for you, and it's not as satisfying as stepping on the clutch and shifting at the right time. It's not as satisfying as, you know, even automatics for muscle cars, man, it's pretty satisfying. Like, I never drove a 10-speed automatic, but I got an 8-speed automatic Scat Pack as well as the Hellcat, and, you know, it's...
In half a mile,
they're still pretty fun to drive.
Make a U-turn on Auto Mall Parkway.
But you
then
know,
turn right.
when it comes to
Red
imports,
light camera ahead.
I don't think I could ever, you know, feel happy in an automatic import. If I drive an import, it has to be stick. But with muscle cars, you know, you got the Dodge Demon, which is an automatic. You got the Hellcat, which is an automatic. You got the Red Eye, which is an automatic. And with the amount of power those cars put down, I mean, you know, it's probably for a good reason.
K-band.
You know, because those cars aren't as forgiving as a Civic SI.
Ahead.
All right.
Make a U-turn on Auto Mall Parkway. Then
Almost.
turn right.
Almost there. And as my girlfriend tells me, no chicks, because I won't say who it is, but sometimes there's young girls. They kind of give me the eyes and the smile. But, you know, I stay in my lane. First of all, you're too young for me, and second of all, I have a girlfriend. So, yeah. But, yeah, oh yeah, and also, you're a student. That's another thing. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to that program, man, it was a trip. It was very different. We were off a campus, and they had to change the program and modify it to be more, you know, in compliance with the new COVID regulations. Because at the time,
Turn
we
right.
had no idea
Then turn right.
what this virus would do to people. So we were all scared of it, and so it kind of showed.
Turn right.
I see this person has, it's an RT. It's a cool RT though, I'm not gonna lie.
You've arrived. Destination is on your right.
Alright. Here we go.
Turn right.
We are on campus. Alright, volt out.